Can't remember how I started the last one.
Okay.
This is a wonderful little river we have here that's off to make its Halocline in the sea. My name's Malin and I am here on the west coast of Scotland in Ardnamurchan filming some music videos for my album Halocline. The name of the album comes from this layer of water that exists between salt and fresh, and it's this unique microbial ecosystem that is there to do with the tension between salinity and the temperature of the water. You get this amazing layer that the light refracts differently, and when you swim underwater in the sea, usually where a river kind of meets the sea, you can get this layer and it's like a shelf in the centre of the ocean, and it's just one of the most fascinating natural phenomenons. And so Halocline is kind of a metaphor for being trans in the sense of existing in this space between a binary. Two things that have tension on either side, but in the middle is this kind of beautiful ecosystem with its own unique culture and way of life. We have just shot the music video for Hiraeth on a chair in the sea, which is very cold. And I've recovered now since having some tea and curry. Hiraeth is a Welsh word and it means longing for a time or a place that you cannot return to or that never quite existed. And so for me it's like this nostalgic word that sums up the human condition, and for me it's a world in which we can all live in where everyone can feel safe and welcome to be themselves. And I don't know if this utopia ever did exist or if it ever can exist, but I really hope deep down that one day sort of there will be this world in which everyone can live in and be themselves. I spend a lot of my time improvising when I'm composing, and melodies come out of it. You kind of improvise a similar thing and it starts to form into one type of sound or one melody, and when you do it enough times you get used to it and you settle on something. So much of my compositions come out of that process. Something really special about this album has been composing and making the instrument at the same time. And the set of pipes that you hear on the album were a set that I made when I was about 18 years old. And it's a newly invented bagpipe. This guy, Donald Lindsay, came up with an incredible design for a 2-octave chromatic small pipe. And I met him when I was about 16, I think, and said, can I have a go at making this in wood? He was 3D printing them at the time. And he was like, absolutely. So I set about making this chanter, and the first one took me maybe 40 days, but it worked, and so I kept going. And I haven't made very many, there's only a few in the world. Lots of the music on the album is composed for this bagpipe, and it's an instrument without a repertoire yet. Its repertoire is growing and people are composing for it, but it's so special being able to make an instrument and write new music for it at the same time. It has its own unique voice. It gives you shapes, it tells you what it wants to make. There's just certain patterns that it suits and that fit under the hands. It loves these keys like F sharp minor and C sharp minor. That drive to kind of make an instrument and compose for it and create the whole thing has been, I guess, the creative force behind this album. What's made it really special to me, I guess, is making all these elements. This idea of Halocline as a metaphor for being trans and living in these spaces in between binaries is really something that means a lot to me. A lot of the music on the album is kind of my coming of age story almost. It's me writing tunes for experiences and places that have shaped who I am today. In lots of ways, making this instrument and composing these tunes gave me a voice and gave me a space within the folk world to be myself and to express myself. My pronouns are they, them. For me, it's a really important thing to have language and to be able to express who we are as humans. Not being in a binary is freeing, and it's being who I am as a human. And I think music is my way of expressing that. Halocline brings together those ideas and those experiences of my life that feel genuine and honest to me. It's kind of crazy putting that into like disc form. I really hope people can have their own experiences and feel like themselves when they listen to it.